Here we're going to walk through a full installation of Rill on a fresh machine but connecting to an existing project. We'll include a few details like using the mono repo pattern that supports multiple projects and securely downloading credentials for data access, so it's a complete installation guide. The install command is right here on the rilldata.com homepage, and we'll run that in a second, but first let's check our prerequisites. You'll need to have access to the project on Rill Cloud. And on the project status page here, you can see the GitHub repository. You can also see that we're using a subpath, which in this case has the same name as the project. You'll need access to this GitHub repo as well. If you don't have that, you might need to go to an administrator to request it, and you're looking to receive an invite that will look like this and is just accepted like so. So if you have access to the Git project, if you have access to the Rill Cloud project, you're ready to go. So let's go back to that main page, copy the install command, open up our command terminal and run that. No, I'll just accept the default location. And while that's downloading, I should mention if you're on Windows, you will need to do an extra step before you can do this. So if you're on the main page, click the install options and look for the instructions on running Rill on Windows using WSL, which is the Windows subsystem for Linux. Let's just check how our installation is going. So it's just asking for a password here. And that's essentially saying I'm ready to start running Rill if I like, but I already have this existing project. So I'm going to want to git clone this. And there's the git clone link that's all ready to go for autocomplete for me there. But where you would find that is if you open up the GitHub project and you open up the code drop down here, that's where you can get that link from. So I'm going to clone that repository, let that download. I'm going to change into that directory. And if I just run a listing of it here, I can see there's my evaluate Rill project. That is the one with the same subpath name as I saw on the status page. I also have, I can see there's an API test directory, and I might have other directories just doing scripts related to my project, but not actually part of the Rill project as well. So it's a bit of flexibility there. I could have multiple projects in here as well. And it's easiest if you're in the project directory that you're working with. So I'll change into that subpath as well. And what I want to do, I know that this project has secure credentials that I need before I'm going to be able to connect to the data that's configured in it. So I run a command called rill-env-pool. And at the moment it's saying, well, you're not authenticated. So you can't just download those credentials without being authenticated. And as part of good practice, we're not storing it in the GitHub repository. So let me run Rill login. And I can check that and confirm that code. If I go back to here, pick my organization. Normally, when you start, you just have the one, and most organizations only have one. So you can select your organization there in the list. And now when I run that rill-env-pool, it is updating the env file. So I now have a .env file there that has some secure credentials for me. So I can now run Rill start. That's kicking off a local development process. I have some data sources. They are currently in the process of logging in to the storage bucket that has some sample files for this project and downloading those files. So there's an entire project here to talk about, but we'll get to that in the next video.